I need the toilet. Is there any toilet stops? Should I just go here? Will it float or will it go down?
You will rob you or be exterminated! Exterminate! Exterminate!
The TARDIS lands on a mine ship at the edge of the expanding universe, where the Doctor, Leela, and K9 try to help the crew of the R1C find the missing ship of their civilization, the P7E. After a dangerous start by almost being turned into a planet, they find the P7E at the center of another forming planet. This is the Underworld, where the minds of the P7E have become slaves for the Oracle, a supercomputer. Can the Doctor and Leela save the minds, or shall the Oracle and her seers destroy the Doctor? Let's discuss Underworld, which aired from the 7th to the 28th of January 1978 and was written by Bob Baker and Dave Martin and directed by Norman Stewart. I am Nick.
And I am Conrad.
And we are the Eyes of Harmony, and this week our eyes are crying. Oh God.
Just as onions.
Too much green screen. Well, blue screen.
Well,
Screens.
There was green screen because of the back of the ship.
Oh yeah, it was too...
Colour overlay thingy.
Okay, so Underworld is the fifth serial of the 15th season of Doctor Who. And it's the penultimate one before Leela leaves the Invasion of Time.
And it's perhaps one of the most budgeted episodes ever.
It's like 10p went into it. It's basically like in New Who when there's like the Lodger and the cheap episodes.
Yeah, but at least there they used that to their advantage. Here they chose to budget a really ambitious episode.
Yeah, they should have budgeted the Sunmakers really.
So initially, according to this, the issue was that they built this fantastic spaceship for the opening, and that used up higher than anticipated, so they had nothing left for the rest of it.
Oh no. Well, yeah, I would like to say the model work in this is great. That's about the good parts out of the way.
The ship at the beginning actually looks very nice.
It does. Again, anything to do with models is basically pretty good. I mean, even the cave models look good. It's just when the people are added into them, it looks so rubbish.
Yeah. Another thing that I'll say, because we're able to just get out all these good points out of the way first. Tom Baker still does a great performance.
Oh yeah, Leela and Tom Baker.
Tom Baker always kind of even the worst of lines, he can make it somehow interesting. He has a way with the words,
Yeah, I think it's just to his voice and his actions. You're never really sure how Tom Baker would act. It's kind of unpredictable, is the word.
This is the era where he's going around changing scripts to his how he feels like the character should be, just because he wants it to be like that. So I guess in some ways, while you wouldn't generally do that as an actor, it does actually help to keep the characterization going when things are iffy like they are.
See, episode 1 is fine. That one actually is decent enough. It kept me interesting, and there's not much blue/green screen.
I mean, there is in the background. There's one moment where they forgot to add anything.
Well, yeah, we're pretty sure they forgot to add. It looks pretty much like that they forgot to add it in. You'll probably see that now. But yeah, it's as soon as they actually hit the Underworld is when it starts to fall apart.
Because the first episode has some good moments. For example,
it's kind of it's good start. The TARDIS is crashing about, and the cliffhanger, and how they're turning into a planet.
So the talking, there's a lot of talking, a lot of it's exposition, and none of it is all that interesting.
It's kind of some lines are quite pointless, really.
Yeah.
It's very just boring.
And a lot of this episode is more talk and a lot less action, because not a lot of action.
And when it is action, it's rubbish.
Yeah.
So when you're past the first episode where it's decent, the ship escapes and it crashes into another forming planet, which in some ways is a bit wrong because suns form first and then the rest of the stuff forms around it, so they shouldn't really have that when there's no sun yet, if it's a nebula. But we'll get into that on Physics Daily, on our new podcast, Physics Daily, and all that.
Yeah, it's just you talking while I'm sitting here nodding my head.
Yeah, because
I don't know physics.
What gravity? Rise up to like the ceiling, but So then they crash, and then they go to the bottom, and then they find the ship, the P7E, which is what they've been looking for. Which, I mean, that's good. I mean, they found it, yay.
Kind of. Well, actually, in the same episode,
one thing I did like, they could kind of generate rejuvenation, is what they called it, their cells. So like the lady becomes so old. That's hilarious, though. When she becomes so old, she kind of kills over, really, and smashes her head against the buttons, causing the ship to like nose plummet towards the nebula, and that was hilarious. And then she becomes young again and does nothing else. And I mean, that's quite a nice idea, other races, knowing kind of how to regenerate a bit.
That only happens once.
Yeah.
It is never brought up again.
But then, you see, because they can do that, and they have all this time on their hands, why are they so risk-takey? It's like, oh, well, you're most likely going to die. The doctor says, oh, the quest, the quest is the quest, as they say.
Which is kind of stupid catch thingy, by the way. Like,
well, if they
the
die,
quest is the quest. Like,
if they die, then the quest has failed. So why be so risky?
Yeah.
It doesn't make much sense. Either you don't care about dying, so then you go all risky, because then they were like, oh, we can't die. We're going to rejuvenate our cells, which is okay.
All my good points here end at episode 1 minus 1. I said like good, like explaining at the end or something. I think
I have a few things from episode.
But like
2,
most of it's episode 1. A lot of this is like either very boring, like or very
slow.
Off.
It's like, I'd say, like treacle or something. If you were walking through treacle or something, or custard. The ones a substance which is so thick that it takes forever to get through. It's not easy to get through, especially as the crew are a bit. One's an idiot. I can't remember which one. Herrick.
Oh, that one's.
I think the one who gets tortured at the one point. The one who when attacking some guards, like says hello, allowing them to turn around and then shoots them. Yeah. You shoot them when they can't see you, idiot.
Speaking of the guards, they're not really threatening. Like,
they're hilarious.
The fact that they're soft. Like, all their clothes are soft.
The only one who's kind of threatening is the Kylo Ren lookalike.
No, even then,
he's
like,
even then,
fluffy. He's fluffy Kylo Ren. He's like one of those plush figures.
But I'd say my biggest problem with this is when they're at the Underworld, they're walking through the caves, but they use the same photograph of the same model of the cave. And you get I got so disorientated on where they were.
The thing is that apparently, according to the DVD's production notes, the episode ran short of their allotted time.
So they just
all 4 episodes, parts 2 and 3 in particular.
So they added padding.
So they added a lot of padding.
Yeah, because they even reused a clip of one of the guys, I think it was Edas or something, like running and then running, like looking back and then turning right. It's literally the same clip. I mean, I think it's just disappointing that they spent, due to inflation and losing money, that a story like this, like, I think it still would have been boring. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Even if they're in the caves.
It's not the most interesting
it's
part,
it's just rubbish talking, and the villains.
Thing was that they very nearly cancelled this because of the budget. This episode.
I think it might have been worth it, to be honest.
To be honest, yeah. In the end of the day, it might have actually been more beneficial just to.
So they could have put that money to like Invasion of Time, made that maybe a bit better.
Not have the same 2 rooms in the TARDIS with the brick walls over and over again.
Yeah, it was disappointing, I think so.
We'll talk about it when we get on that episode, but I have some quite harsh words to say about that one as well.
But yeah, I just found this one so boring. I wasn't paying attention enough, so I started to actually lose the story. It was just.
I was paying just about enough attention, but like.
So there's a planet. The minds are now kind of working for the supercomputer called the Oracle. I'm just going to call her she because it's kind of
Yeah.
That, and then she
doesn't
has,
even do anything.
Then she has two robots called the Seers.
Apparently she's the guardian of these...
Of the galaxy. Well, it is a new galaxy.
I mean the cylinder thingies.
Yeah, and the cylinders hold, like, the important information.
But her motivations are never really explained.
Yeah, I think it's just to make civilization happen. But yeah, so rock collapses are called skyfalls because the top of a cave is called the sky, and that's kind of it.
The sky
really.
Falls, it goes down.
But yeah, it's just terrible green screen. I mean, the problem is if they'd done it, well, so many times the characters walk on the walls, like on the walls of a cave.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
And half the time you can tell that they're running/walking on flat ground.
Yeah, because the ground doesn't interact like you would normally.
They should have just thrown down some mud and gone, run across this. Run across that.
Like, build a cheater. Like, they managed to do it back in the early days of Doctor 2, back in the 60s. Like, just build something on the cheap, but still looks pretty good. And that's what you need.
They did it in Caves of Androzani, I think, later on, actually. They just rearranged these. They had, like, 3 bits, and you just rearranged them to form a different shape each time, every time there was a cave.
I mean, I guess model shops... they must have had a really, really tiny budget if, like, you could get little more than model shops.
Yeah, well, it was like the same model shot as well. Oh, the one point which was terrible was when the crew were there, then the one I disliked walked off and started putting stuff on pillars, and then other characters were walking in other directions. It was so confusing. I got so lost with what was happening. Also, K9 would not be able to go through caves. I mean, come on,
Yeah, if he can't get up a beach...
If he can't do a marsh in a Power of Kroll, then he can't do bloomin' caves. It doesn't make sense, and yeah, it was just disappointing because I remembered nothing about this one, so I was expecting hopefully something decent. I was thinking, oh, maybe this will actually be a decent story.
There's probably a good reason why you didn't remember.
But yeah, I can now completely understand why I remember nothing about it, because it's just boring.
It's just the same case. I mean, like, nevertheless, even if the story was this high art, having the same locations over and over again the exact same way makes your brain kind of associate every bit with every bit, so nothing feels distinct.
It's kind of Time and Rani again with how the first episode is tolerable. Yeah, at least like the first part is tolerable, but when episodes 2, 3, and 4 are boring as well, become even more boring than episode 1 is, you've got a problem. I mean, I liked how they added the Mayans and the Time Lords helped the Mayans, and then they had a civil war, so it destroyed their civilization. I like that adding history, but again, that was all episode 1.
And it was very briefly touched on. It was like thrown out.
Yeah, only in the book is it then kind of goes into.
Oh yeah, and like in this is episode 2, but the Doctor is being smoked out, like they're putting all this gas, and like first off, the effect on screen where it just kind of covers half the screen and doesn't act convincingly just looks very out of place, even with the already out of place backgrounds. Second off, the Doctor just sort of flumps forward in a nap.
It doesn't look like he's choking, it looks more like he's falling asleep.
Yeah,
like when I'm like working and I'm tired, you know, you do that, and then somehow the gas pumping thing
goes backwards. How on earth does that work? If it's some sort of thing pushing the gas down through like a vent or a fan or something, you can't do it the other way. That's not how vents work, production team. That's not how vents work. It doesn't just suddenly like, oh, you're going to do the fan backwards, it's going to take it all in.
It's science fiction. So anything can happen if he has a sonic screwdriver and a kettle and some string. Yeah, I know, and it's just another good scene though is the torture scene. Scenes in the spaceship. It's just it becomes too glaring, the cave, and because they spent so long in the cave, it just became awful.
Very boring.
Absolutely
and then like,
awful.
they're heading towards the main base, and then like they see a door. And the guy warns about invisible dragons.
Yeah.
No invisible dragons, just electric thingies, which I guess is kind of understandable considering they don't know what dragons even are, but while they even know what dragons even are, with an electric gate will nevertheless be threatening. And second off, those traps are deactivated when they destroy the door. How does that work? The traps aren't necessarily linked to the door.
Yeah, true. Also, there's the subtlety. Oh yeah, we're gonna when it's the mine carts and they're going around trying to I'm not even sure what they're trying to achieve, but they go, let's do this subtly, and suddenly they jump out and they're like, attack! And the guards suck. Remember right in the last episode where they take out one of the guards and the other one just backs away.
Yeah, he slowly backs away.
Slowly backs away, doesn't try and like go. It's absolutely dreadful.
That was really funny, that moment.
It's funny, but it wasn't supposed to be. That's just lucky.
The story does actually have moments of so bad it's good, doesn't it?
That's the only thing. Oh yeah, the other time was when the Doctor and Leela, they're hiding under this minecart and they just throw a cloth over the top of them, and they're like basically shouting at each other to stop moving. It's like, oh, stop moving! And the 3 guards are standing literally like 2 feet away from them. I was thinking, oh well, they're gonna find them, obviously,
Yeah.
And they didn't.
They didn't even bump into the most obvious place.
One, there were even echoes. It didn't. Oh my god! And they didn't even check under it. Hey, where did they go? Oh look, a blanket over a minecart.
And it really doesn't help that the villains literally sound like middle-aged men. As opposed to
like
actual anything, nothing threatening. Like they're just middle-aged men, just normal, not even scary middle-aged men, just middle-aged men, and
like
it's not
a school caretaker kind of.
Yeah, it's not threatening at all. Oh, then we get to the floating scene. So they get through that door, and then they float downwards by pushing out, and they have like the funniest elevator movement while they stand still, use your hands in pockets and stuff. It doesn't look like they're floating, and the Doctor kind of flaps his scarf. Like, it doesn't look convincing that they're falling. The elevator music makes it funny.
Oh yeah.
Like, what even? What?
It's just
that's another scene which just makes it
so funny. It's bad. The thing is that those moments sadly ran out later on. Oh, one good thing: the shield guns. I thought those were a good invention. They were quite cool. I like that idea that the shield should be more like Roman kind of shield size to be effective as a shield. Also, the shield reflector at one point is cool. But yeah, the villains suck.
They really
I mean, the robots are even on the front cover of a DVD and you barely see them. You see them in like
even
2 scenes.
No, the guys that are just kind of...
No, robots called Seers.
No, Seers kind of are the race of people. They're just kind of...
Yeah, no, but the situation is overseen by guards who are in turn responsible to 2 robots called Seers. Those are the ones with the 3 eyes, which have weird red... is that added on? I think
guess it has to be. They couldn't even afford light bulbs for the eyes.
But
it looks so off, the eyes. It looks so off. Like,
I'm like, I feel sorry for people who had to watch this. I wonder, did the viewer count drop? No, it increased. And then dropped, and then it increased. For some reason, part 4 had 11.7 million.
I guess there's just nothing else on that day.
And then people didn't come back next week. I wonder if it dropped for Invasion of Time.
Anyway, the one big, even stupider thing was how they finished off the villains.
Oh yeah.
So the Doctor runs backwards, which isn't exactly subtle.
Yeah.
Well, look, actually, first off, the Doctor, they give the guys who are trying to look for them what they call the canisters attached to bombs, and they start to take them back. The Doctor gets in, gets the real ones, because the computer's dumb and doesn't have any self-defense at all, other than the thing. Didn't think of that, and then the Doctor escapes, runs back, takes the bombs back to them, and they just take it without even a second guess. I mean, I guess
they should have made a way to differentiate between the two.
It's another so bad it's good moment, but the fact is...
No, it's the part where they take it back to the Oracle, and it's just like, these are the wrong ones, and instead of panicking and getting rid of them quickly, he holds them and just stands there going, how? Oh, no!
And before, the Doctor's trying to tell them, it's not that.
How?
No, it's...
Oh, Doctor, you need to try harder than that.
But why would the Doctor be running in the other direction? They never even questioned that. He's running backwards. He got to the ship. They saw him run that way. Why would he be...
It's stupid. It's so stupid.
This is one of the stupidest.
But yeah, they hold them. It's like, oh no, we can't. You made them so you can't deactivate them. And they're like, oh no. Oh, actually, one thing that's good is the model explosion. That was actually pretty decent. Good. That's the only good thing about the ending. And then he pops off, leaving the crew to just float in space.
Yeah.
Yay. Woo. God, it's just disappointing is what it was. Because, you know, I was actually... I think this hurts more than Time and Rani did in the way that I was expecting something half decent. I totally...
The fact that I'd heard barely anything about this episode after watching it, I think, was a big red
it could have been
flag to me.
It could have been one of those, you know, lost gems, you know, under talked about, like Unicorn and the Wasp. You don't hear about that often, but you know, we like that one. Yeah, we gave it, I think, 7 and 8 or something like that, around that.
7.
7, I think, is what we gave it. Yeah. And yeah, it's just naff. I mean, Bob Baker and Dave Martin, people who write this, they only ever write okay Doctor Who stories. I mean, probably the best one was The Three Doctors, which, thank God, that one was not boring.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
But they wrote Sontaran Experiment, which is alright. What else did they write? I know that I think Bob Baker wrote Nightmare of Eden by himself. Claws of Axos, which is a bit boring.
Though many people like that one.
Mutants, I'm not a great fan of. Hand of Fear is okay, but again, lots of padding in Hand of Fear. There's lots of scenes where Sarah Jane's just walking with this box, heading to the nuclear.
They just can't quite fill the story.
Yeah, and Armageddon Factor, I think. Oh, and Invisible Enemy. So yeah, I mean,
I don't think they did Invisible Enemy because they credited like its creators like K9.
K9, yeah.
And in fact, I think were they the ones that also did the reboot TV series with them?
I think so. Yeah, K9.
Which I'm just putting it out now. We're probably never going to cover that one.
I've never watched it.
I have never watched it either. It's just I don't like the design of K9, and the only thing I heard about it was that some guy plays a piano in the first episode, and the notes he plays is a Doctor Who theme, but that's about it. I don't even know if they ever explain how that K9 comes to be.
No, they use the original. They use the original K9 design. They use the original K9 design. He gets destroyed in the first episode, then he regenerates into the new design. You know, because computers can do that. But
they never explain that because
that's the only thing I watched, I think. But it didn't grab me.
K9, like how did he get from like being with Leah in Invasion of Time to there? I don't think they ever explained that.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look at it.
But anyway, we've gotten a bit off topic.
Yeah. Well, K9 in this is underused again. I mean, actually, I quite liked him in the start where it was like, we are not alone, blah, blah, blah. You know, that was quite good.
Yeah.
Again, episode 1 was decent. They can write really good openings, I think, but it's just they can't... Half-baked is what I'd say the story one, but this one was just too much dialogue. Really, like, I mean, I don't like to judge the entire story on artistic points, but the green screen really does just ruin it.
Because, like, in the past,
it's just too glaring.
Doctor Who has always rose up to their limited budgets. Like, from the very beginning to, I guess, even this point beyond, like, Doctor Who has always had a relatively limited-ish budget, but they've always worked around that. In the classic series, they found ways to work around that, find ways to cut costs while still making everything look convincing. Yeah,
and I'd say this is the only time they kind of failed majorly.
Yeah, at least as far as I can remember. There probably is some other moment, but like in terms of like this is probably the worst budgeted episode. Like most episodes at least use something to their advantage in it.
I mean, the ship does look nice, but
the ship in part 1 looks nice, but it was screwed over the rest of the episode
because of the rest.
Because of its cost. I mean, I don't think there's really a lot more to say about this episode.
So yeah, good points, I guess.
Spaceship set.
Yeah, spaceship set, model work,
and Tom
Baker and Louise Jameson. Yay. This story really does make me actually quite depressed. It just really is not great at all, really. So bad points. Boring. Upsetting.
Boring. Looks bad.
Green screen overdone. And I'd also say villains suck, yeah. Oh my god, what it's like they barely even rehearsed it either in the studio. Well, they couldn't, because they've got no props to work off. When you don't have a set and you're just on green screen, what do you work off?
The green screen.
Yeah, but you can't see it. You just see flat. Oh god. So nerdy. All the names are kind of after Greek mythology.
In fact, this story is trying to be kind of like... It makes a lot of allusions to Jason and the Argonauts in particular.
Yeah. During this story, the origin of Time Lord's policy of non-intervention is finally explained, and the truth behind the Minos is revealed in the Big Finish Productions audio drama Gallifrey: The Inquiry.
The production team were influenced by Star Wars, which wasn't out in the UK at that point, but they realised it was coming out 10 days before Underworld was scheduled to air, and got influenced by it.
Oh, that's why it must have jumped in views then. Because they're like, oh, it's Star Wars like. That's why.
That would make sense. That would make sense. In the original script, when Leah was being overwhelmed by gas in the second episode, she was meant to scream, but Louise Jameson said that was out of character for Leah, so they didn't do it.
Hey, that is right, though.
There is a few notes. This broadcast was a few days after Blake Seven debuted, and Terry Nation made that, of course. And the composer of that was Dudley Simpson, who was, of course, worked on both shows. So there's actually a reference to Blake Seven's theme music in Underworld somewhere. I don't know where, but somewhere.
That's cool. That's about the only cool thing. I think that's it, really. Bob Baker and Dave Martin wrote other Doctor Who stories, all kind of okay, really, and that's it.
The scene for the Doctor shepherding the Trogs through the cave was devised and organised by Tom Baker himself. And in 3 consecutive polls conducted by Doctor Who magazine in 1998, 2009, 2013, Underworld has maintained the dubious honour of being the episode of Tom Baker's era held in the least regard. Its lowest ranking came in the 2009 poll, Mighty 200, as one of the worst stories ranked amongst the 200 aired, at number 197.
Oh, so like that's basically just above Fear Her, Time of Rani, and Twin Dilemma.
Maybe. I don't know the exact order because they don't have the.
Well, Twin Dilemma always comes last, which I think's silly. I think this will.
I've never seen it, so I can't judge.
I would say this one has less interesting factors.
Yeah.
Because at least Twin Dilemma has a new Doctor where you're kind of at least fascinated by all his actions.
I mean, to be honest, I still think, just because of how much it infuriated me, that Time and Rani is easily the worst.
Probably. But yeah, we'll make a list when we get there. We'll look at our lowest rankings. But anyway, yeah, conclusion for this awful, awful story.
This episode sucks. It sucks real bad. It sucks in sets. It sucks.
Like a Ghostbusters thing.
It sucks in pretty much most departments you can find. A couple of redeeming aspects. The spaceship in the first episode looks quite nice, I guess. And Tom Baker actually keeps you vaguely engaged, to be honest. Like, he is a solo factor which keeps you kind of, had this been, like, I'm not saying this is like, but had this been like most other Doctors, to be honest, it probably would have been completely irredeemable.
Yeah.
But, to be honest, Tom Baker's character made this just about work. In fact, I'd also say because most other Doctors would have followed the script, unlike Tom Baker. It probably also that. I think Tom Baker alone saves it from being like at the very bottom. Yeah.
Ever.
Because I don't think a Tom Baker, like, to be honest, he himself kind of saves episodes in a lot of cases and just makes the most of them. That's why I'm saying it's a 1 and not a 0. It's barely, but Tom Baker just about like raises that little bit up. But yeah. one for me.
Okay, yeah. My conclusion, Underworld is cheap. That's probably the best way to describe it. The models were great, don't get me wrong, but the blue screen started to make me feel sick on how much they used it. The feet of the actors are obviously on flat ground rather than on a bumpy cave floor, which just becomes super off-putting, and you can't ignore it, especially if you watched it on a 52-inch screen. It's just painful. The villains suck. The crew do stupid things. What's a shame is episode 1 and the start of episode 2 are okay, but they're nothing great. As soon as the Underworld appears, it's a full nosedive into the ground, destroying any legs this story had. I laughed a lot at this story, not with it, because of how stupid it was at times. I give Underworld a 1 out of 10. Just one I plan not to ever watch again, probably. I'd forgotten everything about this story from when I first watched it in 2009 or 2010, and I wish I could forget it again.
I'm going to have to watch this again to take pictures.
For this video, so I feel privileged.
The work I do for you, lot.
To be honest, it's rather short, this one, because you don't really have much to talk about, apart from how cruddy it is. God, what were they thinking? I would have shelved this one.
Yeah, like, the suggestion just to outright cancel it, I think, would have been the better option here, to be honest.
It's just sloppy.
Just save the budget here and make a slightly better Invasion of Time.
Yeah, I'd happily swap this story for any missing black and white one.
But this was done after.
Yeah.
Well, actually, because it's.
But yeah, I agree with Tom Baker being the redeeming thing. I think, but even then, it's just.
Okay, so it just hadn't been anyone Doctor. Heck, if it like John Pertwee, for example, like the way his Doctor is characterized, it would have just kind of built on.
Yeah, it's a lot like Colin.
How flat it is.
Yeah, I'd say this story is so bad. It's kind of should be in the Colin Baker era, which is a shame to say, but those are where the Colin Baker and start of Sylvester McCoy. That's how rubbish this story is.
Well, to be honest, like at the end of Tom Baker's era, things did
start to not be as good.
Yeah, be a little bit sloppier.
It's the season before this where it stopped being as great as it was.
Not that it's not like good stories in there, but
it's not like there was
the
like
higher regard Tom Baker stories and the ones which people consider like among the best happened close to the beginning of his era.
Yeah, it's the third Doctor's season, beginning with the 3 Doctors, and then every season after that really strong. Yeah, because we got so it goes 3 Doctors, Carnival of Monsters, Frontier in Space, Planet of the Daleks, Green Death, really strong season. The Time Warrior, Invasion of the Dinosaurs, Death of the Daleks, Monster of Peladon, Planet of the Spiders, strong season again. Robot, The Ark in Space, Sontaran Experiment, Genesis of the Daleks, Revenge of the Cybermen.
One of the best, I'd say.
A really, really, really good season. Then Terror of the Cyclops, Planet of Evil, Pyramids of Mars, The Android Invasion, The Brain of Morbius, Seeds of Doom. Really strong season.
Even better, possibly.
Mask of Mandrago, it's okay. Hand of Fear, it's okay. Deadly Assassin, great. Face of Evil, great. Robots of Death, so great. Tanners of Weng Chiang, really good. And then it starts to go down this season with Horror Fame Rock, is okay. Invisible Enemy is okay. Image of Fendel, okay, but not memorable. Sunmakers, okay, not really. I know it's got good about tax and stuff, but not really memorable. Underworld, rubbish. Invasion of Time, okay. And then the Key to Time series is okay, and season after that is okay, but without Sharda being complete, it's a bit kind of empty. It feels empty.
Yeah. To be honest, I think the season after, when John Napier took over, was kind of needed in some ways. I mean, it's not necessarily has the best stories, but it kind of got to be a bit samey and a bit.
Yeah.
Things were downhill, and it did need something to kick it up the backside and knock it back into its rightful place.
I'd just say Tom Baker stayed on like 2 seasons too many, I'd say. I think if he'd left at the Invasion of Time, say the Invasion of Time was a different story, he would have had the best era.
Yeah,
but I'd probably say now, having the best stories is probably Patrick Troughton.
I would definitely.
Especially with his second season. Oh, what a season. But we'll get onto that season. I want an entire podcast just about how much I love that season.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Just makes me happy thinking about it. And now, getting stuff on DVD. Hopefully they'll animate some more of those ones. So we'll
very nice.
have that. have that season. Just having that on DVD will make me cry with happiness, I think. But yeah, so thank you very much for listening to us cry, basically, about this story, because, God, it's awful. So let us know how much you hate this story below, because there's no way that you like it. If you do, how? Let us know, because, geez, if you do...
Respect your opinion regardless, I mean...
But, yeah...
We ain't one to judge, but...
We'd be very surprised if anybody does defend this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, subscribe.
Or not. You know, just be another one of the rock piling on top of this blooming spaceship.
Yeah, don't...
Crushing the people inside. Being our souls.
Don't be a rubbish villain either. Don't just stand there with a bomb going, oh no! God! What are we gonna do here?
It's like one of those cartoon things.
It is.
Like, you have a bomb. Oh, what do I do? Actually, the Batman movie. The Batman 96 movie. Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. Ducks.
Yep. Oh my God, it's
I love
awful.
that film. I love that film though.
Awful Underworld. Anyway, yes, so we'll see you next time where hopefully we'll be reviewing something a bit better. I just hope so, because, God, this has made me depressed on how rubbish this one is. Just not good at all. Not good at all. Next week, The Idiot's Lantern, so hopefully that'll be...
A little bit better.
A little bit better, that's good.
But still...
I'll be happier.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Farewell. I didn't sound like crying.
It was a shout of pain. It was hurting me. On the inside. You don't need to see the tears for them to be real.
Bye, viewers.
You can't go too high with the hands because they go past the green screen. Even lower, so they're only line with the head.
Action.
I need the toilet. Is there any toilet stops? Should I just go here? Will it float or will it go down? I'll just go in and oh no, it's going all in my face. Oh God. Don't know what that was.
And it hit Leah.
Leela. Oh, you're all wet now, Leela. Oh, you gotta get your tits out. Wish they were.
Names anyway.
Leela! Oh, actually, yeah. If you throw me this.
No.
I go, Leela, can you throw me a sword? Leela, can you throw me a knife? I missed. Leela, can you throw a knife? Oh no. Go on, Leela. Oh, I can see up your skirt, Leela. I won't look away. I'll just make sure nobody else is looking.
I'm stabbing you after.
I've never seen one of those before. Do you want to see what I've got?